Hello and welcome. I'm Satara Tarot and I'm an intuitive tarot card reader, and this reading is for Taurus. So welcome, lovely Taurus. I hope you enjoy the reading. I hope it resonates with you. It's for 2021. So I have a card for each month, and the cards that I'm using today are the Morgan Grigg Tarot deck, and I'll be pulling a final card at the end of the reading from the Wisdom of Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So very interesting reading. It's a bit of a mixed bag, and when I was shuffling the cards, the energy was quite sort of energetic, so they were very fluid. So I think there's going to be a lot of change and a lot of movement happening for you in 2021, Taurus. But how I like to look at the spread is to really sort of recognize where and what major arcanas appear in a spread. So you have 4 major arcanas, and with the major arcanas, they're really the energy that is the strong energy of the tarot, and so it makes a significant meaning to the reading. And you start off with the major arcana in January, which is the Sun card, beautiful card to start the year with. And then in May you have the Chariot, and then in August you have the Wheel of Fortune, and then in September you have the Tower. So you have 4 major arcanas in your spread. You've also got three cards, and you've also got 2 10 cards. Considering the spread's only 12 cards, to have a third of them major arcanas, and then 3 cards and 2 10 cards, and with 10s they're about completion. So there's definitely for 2021 for you, Taurus, and completion of something and moving forward. So we're going to get into the reading and just see what comes out, because also the Wheel of Fortune, that is also a 10, so that's another shift, another sort of moving forward. And I really felt that when I was doing the shuffling. It was very strong when I was doing the shuffling. Okay, so we're going to start the reading. Start off in January here, and I'll just go through the cards. So we have January, we start off with the Sun, and then February we go to the 10 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, the Chariot in May, the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, September's the Tower, and then October's the 3 of Pentacles, November the 10 of Swords, and the Page of Swords is December. So we're going to start off up here with January, the Sun card. Absolutely beautiful card to start 2021. The Sun is about birth, celebration, joy. It's the Day card, so it's really about seeing things clearly, and it's a beautiful card. So wonderful place to start 2021 for you, Taurus. And then you go into February, and February brings you the 10 of Pentacles. So I'm not surprised to see a few Pentacle cards in your reading, being the Earth sign you are, and the Pentacles are the Earth of the tarot. And it's really, with the Pentacles, it's really about stability and something that's tangible, something that you can actually hold, and it is stable. It gives you stability. And with any reading, you really want Pentacles to appear, because you want it to be solid. The Pentacles give you sort of like a bit of a solid foundation. And you've got the 10 of Pentacles, which again, with the 10s, it is about completion. And often with the 10, it's really about having that abundance of money and being financially secure. And I do get a sense with the February, and this may not be for everyone, however, I do feel there could be a union of 2 mature people. So if you are 2 individuals that have come together in February, and you both bring your sort of financial stability into that relationship, because the January card, the Sun, can be a beginning, a fresh start. And then February, these 2 people in an archway coming together with these two flags with 5 on each side. So for me, it's like you bring in your kind of own financial stability into that union. Okay, it could be an established union, but I do get a sense that it's something coming together, and it's like an old, you could be, you could be in your 20s and be financially secure, but it could be like in your 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. So kind of a sense of coming together. So that's in February. Then we go into March, and March is the 5 of Pentacles, so another Pentacle sign. And with the 5s in the tarot, it's really about the midpoint. So quite often, 5s are really not the cards you want to appear in your reading, because they can cause conflict. And it's really about that midpoint. I was just on the Aries reading, and they had a 5 as well, and I was talking about the midpoint of a journey. So when you go on a journey and you start off, you're enthusiastic and everything's going great, and you get to that midpoint of your journey and you think, oh, why did I start this? Is it too late to go back? I haven't got the energy to go forward. But as soon as you pass that midway point, you then go into a whole different shift, a different gear. And I really get that energy in this whole reading, that there's a real sort of transition from shifting gear, change, moving forward in a very big way. And I feel that the 5 of Pentacles in March is really doing that for you. At the same time, you might feel that sort of pain and misery of that conflict, of that midpoint. So with the 5 of Pentacles, it can be a card that represents being left out in the cold, especially financially, or it could even be spiritually as well. So there's a woman and a man embracing each other, standing outside of this window with 5 pentacles. And the window kind of echoes the window of, say, a church. So, having being injured and wounded and exhausted and feeling somewhat depleted, which seems a little bit ironic that it follows the 10 of Pentacles. So you've gone from the 10 to the 5. But I do feel it is about a transition, so a midway point. And also remembering with the minor arcanas, they're sort of the lower energy. So they're the energy that we kind of flow through. So this will pass. If you feel that energy in March of lack of, knowing it will pass, and you need to go through that to get to the other side. So just like any midpoint of a journey, it may be a bit painful, but you need to go through that to get to the end of the journey, okay? To get through to the other side. Then we go into April, and April is the 4 of Swords. So the Swords represents the air signs of the zodiac, which are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the Swords represents the thoughts and communications. And it's really about taking a rest from your thoughts. So again, sort of allowing yourself to sort of come in and sort of rest from your thoughts and what's happening around you. So just allowing what you've been through in March, allowing that to settle and allowing you to sort of process that and take some rest and just some self-care in April. Because I have to say, you're going to need it. This happened in Aries. The second the sort of May and beyond, it gets quite dynamic. So really take some rest in April, because you're going to need it. Because as soon as you get into May, you're charging forward and you are victorious. So there is going to be a big shift happening for you in May. This is the Chariot card, and it's all by Cancer. And it's really about sort of moving forward, and you could actually be moving house. So you could be moving house, you could be buying a car, you could be anything that's something quite significant. If you think about the biggest purchases in our lives, quite often are, the first one is a house, the second one is a car, and then the third one, I don't know, maybe children or holiday. But it's really about moving forward on a significant change in your life, and also being victorious and being at the reins and having control over the situation, and sort of charging forward. So May is going to be quite a dynamic year, so really charging forward. And it's also bringing, I have to say, this may not resonate with all people who are Taurus, but there's definitely a message in this reading for a union that's coming together and sort of just trying to negotiate that union. So we start with these two people here, and then we have these two people here, and then we have another two people here, and they're all sort of face to face, arms around each other, supporting each other. And then we come to the Chariot, and for me, it's really about, for you, taking the reins of this union or this relationship and bringing it together, because these two want to go in different directions, but you need to steer them to move forward in the same direction. Okay, and it may not be a love relationship, it may be just something, two things coming together. You know, say for example, you wanted to buy a house and you also wanted to buy a car. Having control over both of them things and being victorious in both. Okay, so May is going to be make sure you take lots of rest in April, because May is going to be quite a dynamic month for you. And then you go into June, and you know what you've succeeded in May, you're going to really celebrate in June. So June, you've got the Three of Cups representing the water signs, three beautiful women coming together and celebrating. So it's really about celebrating what you've managed to sort of pull together in the May. So, and you're coming together with your community, with your people, with your tribe. So gorgeous month to celebrate in June. And then we come into July, and I have to say, when I was doing the reading, and this happened again with Aries, but with different months, this card, the July and August card, they came out in a really peculiar way that I couldn't actually decide which was the July and which was August. And when I do my shuffle, I lay them down flat so I can't see them, and then I reveal them at the end of dealing the cards. And I kind of had a sense that the July and August are going to be really connected. So that little story that happens in July and August, it's going to entwine. So July and August for you, I think whatever's going on for you is the same theme over them 2 months. And I think what's happening, there is a need to heal. So with the Three of Swords, it's representing the air signs about thought, communication, and it's piercing this heart. And it's really about a broken heart and loss and remorse. But it's also a healing card, so a needing to heal as well. And it came with the Wheel of Fortune. And I really feel with these cards, I feel that there's a sense of needing to let go. So needing to let go and not being attached to the sorrow and the pain. Because as soon as you let go of the sorrow and the pain, the healing can begin. So I'm going to read these cards together, the July and August. And with the August card, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's the number 10. So again, we're looking at that sort of completion and stepping into another realm, another way. So this wheel is actually turning. So with the Wheel of Fortune, you can have like going up in the wheel, which is like good fortune, and coming down on the wheel, which is bad fortune. However, the thing with this card is not to get attached. So not to get attached to the good fortune and not to get attached to the bad fortune. Because it's when you get attached to the good fortune, so when you get attached to the victorious, buying the house, buying the car, and you're really attached to that, then when the misfortune comes, that's when you feel the pain and the misery, okay? And it really leads into the September card, which is the Tower. So really the message, I think, from this these two cards here for July and August, it's really allow to let go of sorrow and allow healing to happen, and also don't get attached to things, people. And that's not to say be disconnected by people, because you still need to be connected, but you don't have to grasp it and be attached, because it's when you grasp things it gets painful. Like if you're holding something tightly in your hand, it hurts your hand. So you could just gently allow that, because if you think you're sitting on the wheel and you're grasping hold tight onto that wheel and that wheel turns, you're going to hurt yourself coming off. But if you're just gently sort of sitting on it, and as it falls, you can just gently fall off. You know, you can just gently move down, just like on a Ferris wheel when you go to the fairgrounds. You just gently come down. So just not getting attached, I think, is the two messages from these two cards, and allowing healing to happen. And then we come into September, the Tower card. I'm just going to get a sip of water, so excuse me for a second. With the Tower card, most people kind of feel, oh, well, the Tower card, I have to say, it's one of my favourite cards. I love the Tower and I love the Star, and they come after one another. And they really, for me, and Aries actually had the Star card. So if you've got any Aries in your chart, it'd be really good to check that reading out, because it could actually be connected. Because I spoke about the Tarot card in that reading. It wasn't in the reading, but it was significant because of the Star card appeared. So with the with the Tower card, it's really about something being pulled down, and this is a major arcana card. So this is really universe stepping in to rip something down, because the foundations are faulty. Yeah, so they're not serving you. They're unstable, and they need to be sort of brought down. And for me, that's such a beautiful, powerful thing to happen, because you don't really want to go through your life building your life on faulty foundations or delusions or things that are not really what they seem. You really want to have clarity and truth and solid foundations, and especially being a Taurus, you really want to have solid foundations. So in September, things are going to be sort of pulled down, and they're going to sort of, and they're being pulled down for a reason. They're being pulled down to serve you, so you can actually rebuild on solid foundations. Okay, so very powerful card and very useful. So then you go into the September, October, and really for me the October is really sort of saying this is why the Tower had to happen, so you can actually start building how you want it to be. So there's this man who's looks like a stonemason, and he's chiseling, that's the word, sorry, chiseling away at the stonework, created this beautiful frame for this doorway. And if you think, actually, sorry, I got so engrossed in the reading, I didn't even take a sip of water. Okay, so if you see with the Three of Pentacles, it actually sits under the Three of Cups, the celebration, and it sits underneath this card here, the Ten of Pentacles. So you know when I said earlier that this could be a union of two people coming together, and it could be a mature union, it may not be. I really feel this is part of a story, this line here. So this is a coming together of two people, and they're in this sort of basic looking archway, and they've brought to this relationship, business, could be business, it definitely could be a business relationship actually. It doesn't have to be romantic. Being the Pentacles here and here, it could be a union of a business relationship. But this archway has been transformed. Yeah, so the Tower has actually pulled down. I would not be surprised. I would love it if anybody does really resonate with this, and you come together in a union, and you buy a house together, or you buy a property for business together, and you renovate it. because the Tower pulls it down because it's not serving your purpose, yeah? And then in October, you are building the archway that you want to have. So see here, the archway is it's fair enough archway, but it's sort of quite old-fashioned, isn't it? It reminds me of the 1970s. To this beautiful, elaborate, amazing entrance. So gorgeous card for October. And then we're going into November. And with November, again, there's another sword card. So you've got a couple of sword cards. Oh, you've got 3 sword cards. And again, I think this also relates to looking down here. So we're looking at March. And what month is this? That's May, June, July. March, July, and November. I reckon this is a bit of a theme and a story here. So feeling left out in the cold, feeling can you go on to the next part of the journey, being at midway point, having heartache and needing to heal. And also the 10 of Swords, it's about really a completion. So another 10, and it's a completion of feeling sort of absolutely defeated by communication, by thoughts, by your own thoughts, but it is a completion. So whatever has sort of not been the theme of these cards here from March to July to November, it's come to an end and you're not going to face that issue again. So if it's going to be worry of money and not having enough money and feeling left out in the cold, that's going to come to an end. This is all completion and it won't come back to you. So you've already gone through that cycle, and guess what? When you go through that cycle, the 10s, you then step into the court cards, and that's exactly what's happened. So this, whatever issue is sort of still going through the theme of needing to let go and heal of 2021 for you, Taurus, you do it successfully in November. So even though it looks a very bleak card with, a person lying with a pool of blood with swords in his back, it's actually really serving a purpose, just like the Tower was serving a purpose. It's looks brutal, but it needs to happen, and it's completion. It's come to the end. You've come to the end of that journey. No longer do you have to walk that road ever again, and you are moving forward and you're stepping into being the page. So you're going to be stepping into 2022 learning some really amazing lessons and really doing some quite hard work in 2021. So a new beginning, a new fresh start, that's going to start in December 2021. So gorgeous reading for you. I'm going to pull, hopefully that wasn't too rambly, because I have to say the reading was kind of a little bit all over the place and I had to try to pull it together, but hopefully it made sense to you. And if it did, please press like, please subscribe. And also just to let you know, while I'm doing the shuffling of the oracle cards, I will be doing monthly readings for all the zodiac signs, so please come back to the channel each month and I will take the card from the month that appeared in the year reading as a guidance for that particular month that I'll be reading for you. So please come back, lovely Taurus. I would love to see you again, and it's been great spending time with you, and I hope 2021 is a lovely year for you. And I'm just going to pull a card from Wisdom of Oracle. Oh, okay. So the card is To Be Fair. Okay, I'm just going to show you the card here, and it's number 38. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought, you know what? That's so strange. That is so strange, and it's probably significant. So I just was going to place the card underneath the camera, and I thought the video had stopped, okay? And it hasn't stopped. It's actually still going. So I actually do think that's significant for some reason. I think that at some point in 2021, Taurus, you're going to feel that it's come to an end and it's stopped, but it hasn't. You actually are going to keep going. Okay, so I just I do feel that's a part of the reading. Okay, that is so strange. Okay, so this is the To Be Fair card. And let me just try to hold it so you can see the whole card, which is a beautiful card. And this lady is holding two scales, and what's on the left hand side is actually from the card of Not For You. So I think with this, for this reading, it's about weighing up what is for you and what is not for you, and gaining that sense of balance in your year of 2021. And also, again, it keeps on coming back to that union of, you know, working at negotiating with what's fair for both parties. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to place that just there, To Be Fair. And I look forward to seeing you for the January reading, which I'll be uploading probably mid-December to the second half of December. And take care and lots of love. Bye.